I'm gonna bring in our first guest. They have a unique business here in Mount Vernon. Um, it's a sneaker restoration spot. Like you see shoe repair places. Like I got a good pair of shoes, and Damon was like, "Yo." They're like 7 years old. Damon was like, "Yo, when you got a good pair of shoes, you just take them to a new shoe spot. They'll redo the bottom and they'll clean them up and they'll look brand new because they're a good pair of shoes." Well, we spend a lot of money as people on sneakers. Spend a lot of money. So if you a sneakerhead, you know some of these sneakers cost a grip. Like I mean, some real money. And I've heard too many of my people I know have after certain point they got scuffed up and dirty, they throw them away or something and go get a new pair. We have a new solution for you where you don't have to do that. So I like to welcome my guests and have them introduce themselves, so I don't mess up their names.
So my name is O'Henny, and this is my wife.
Hi, I'm Najeen Ofori. We are both owners of Revival X. How are you, AJ?
I'm good. So I hope.
Well, my name is Gene. It's a pleasure to meet y'all.
Likewise.
I hope my description of the store was accurate, but I would like to let y'all elaborate more. Can you tell us, like, what made you, like, for anything successful is to find that niche that is needed to fill that void, which is the reason we started Black Westchester, because there wasn't a real community voice for Black people, Black and brown people in the county of Westchester. So like you have filled a void of something that is very essential, but very few people have ever thought about. So talk about starting that and why you decided to do this.
Sure. So I would say I've historically been more of a shoe wearer, and I love getting my shoes polished, right? Clean, having a fresh set of shoes with your pantsuit on, going to church or going into the office. And one day, getting my shoes cleaned, and I'm like, you know what? I love this so much. I wonder if there's anything for on the sneaker side. So I started doing my research, came across some businesses on the West Coast that were doing it out there in Australia and abroad, but there wasn't really anything here, especially in New York. So went off on that venture of trying to create something, not just for myself, but for the community to, as you just mentioned, restore our sneakers, whether via a clean or a full restoration, which means a repaint or a glue job or something to unyellow. And we can get into that later on. So that's the background. It's not that complex. I wish there was a better story, but it's because I was venturing into that area and I saw, as you stated, there was an opening for it. Now, I had the concept, but it wasn't proven. I didn't know whether or not people would actually want to venture into that. I knew I would. But with the community in general want to cater to something like what we were building at the time. And to my surprise, we've had some successes, but I can elaborate on that throughout the conversation.
Now, where the name come from and the solution that you use, is that something that y'all created, y'all came up with yourselves, or did y'all partner with someone? How'd that come about?
Great question. So the solution that we utilize at the store and it came about from me working with a chemist. Right. I worked with a chemist. I told them of the need, what I was trying to do. It can't be too harsh on sneakers because there are various materials that sneakers can come with, you know, whether it's nubuck, mesh, suede, leather. So it has to be almost like a one size fit all type solution. Good enough, but not harsh, and closer to being more environmentally friendly. So worked with the chemist to come up with the solution that we will utilize in-house, but we also sell via e-commerce or at the store for the DIY customer. So that's how the solution came about. And we started to figure out how to best utilize it in the very beginning.
Where'd you get the name from?
Revival.
So the name is an interesting story. I think we spent probably almost 2 months trying to figure out the name. And in the back of my head, I had an idea for the name only because there was this show that used to come on years ago, and I can't remember the name of it. But the rapper had a tagline that Oheni latched onto, and it drove me crazy. And as he was trying to figure out the name, I kept thinking that half of that tagline would be great for the name, but I sat on it for 2 weeks hoping he'd come up with something else just so that I wouldn't have to hear him repeat that tagline over and over again. And the tagline was, "It's the Ghetto Revival." And it drove me crazy hearing him say that over and over again when the guy kept saying it on TV. So when he finally couldn't come up with a name, I said, what about Revival? He was like, "That's it, Revival X." And Revival X was born just by
where the X come from? That's the curious part. Where the X come from?
So the X, to be honest, I didn't know where we would eventually pitch our field in. I know we wanted to do sneakers, but we weren't going to call it Revival Sneakers. So we just labeled it as X because we're trying to revive, because the initial idea, as I thought it through, it wasn't just to revive sneakers, but was also to revive the community, right? And I had plans, all these plans in my head, whether it was through volunteer work or some type of social initiative to really revive the community. So instead of calling it Revival Kicks, Revival Sneakers, let's just leave it at Revival X so we can branch out in any area.
That's what's up. I'm going to play a quick video that y'all have, and then I'll pass it to Dr. Bob. I know he has a few questions on the other side.
Shoot.
To many, sneakers are more than just footwear. It's a part of who you are. Got some scuffs on your kicks? Revival X got your fix. It doesn't use any harsh chemicals, won't fade colors, and it's safe on all materials from mesh to suede to leather. Removes germs and bacteria. So when your kicks are covered in dirt and grime, keep them clean with Revival X.
I don't know why I heard an echo at the end, but that is the commercial that they sent me. Dr. Bob, I'm turning the mic over to you. Your mic is off. Your mic's off.
So good afternoon, y'all. So it seems like I messed up here somehow, AJ. I don't know what I just did. That wasn't.
Okay, you didn't mean to put the full screen? Okay, there we go.
I didn't want to do that. Hold on one second. So
good thing you bad on your screen that we didn't need to see it. Like, we've been like, hey. No, okay.
No, I wanted to show. So I wanted to say that it's a pleasure to finally meet you guys. I know that AJ has been having ongoing discussions with y'all about getting you on the show. I was especially excited because I thought this was a really unique business model that you have developed, not only in terms of the actual product, the for-profit product, but also how you have connected it to nonprofit social entrepreneurship. I want to circle back to the social entrepreneurship part, but I want to just firstly start just by sharing with everyone a screen from your website that actually will give our audience, our viewers, an idea of some of the basic services and what they can expect should they decide to drop some of their favorite sneakers off at your store. Now, I got to be honest, y'all. I don't invest that type of money in sneakers. I got the basics, you know, some Puma Vilas, the basic Adidas there. Nothing pricey, nothing too pricey. But, you know, I still love my kicks. But for those audience, those viewers and audience members who do have a beloved pair of kicks that they just put a lot of money in and want to see refurbished, they should know that you have 3 basic cleaning levels, I guess we're going to call them, restoration levels. Basic for $32, and you can see a brief description. You get a standard midsole clean and a standard undersole clean. I guess that's the bottom of the sneaker. Deluxe for $40. You get a deep midsole clean, standard undersole clean the laces, and a freshener. And finally, the ultimate restoration job, which will restore them as, I guess, as close to new as possible. includes the deep midsole clean, the deep undersole clean, lace cleaning freshener, insole and lining deep clean, and shoe treat or sneaker shield. Okay. And then in addition to that, so a person can bring in an old pair of dirty kicks. So they're like this, right? And these are some examples, and they can expect after you guys have had your way with them, they're going to have some fresh kicks. And so we could see in the couple of examples you include on your website, this is really impressive. I think I have a pair of these, AJ, hopefully. I haven't worn them lately, but I can't wait to bring them by and have them restored and remove all the yellowing from them. And in addition, so I want to add that in addition, you guys offer some really advanced aesthetic services as well. You can customize sneakers like people want. And so here we have, you know, maybe these are custom colorways, maybe we could call them. If I got it wrong, just shake your head yes and make me feel like I actually know what I'm talking about. So I'd like to encourage everyone who may have some old sneakers that they need to restore to take a more extensive look. So having said that, the question that I want to begin with is as follows. AJ and I have met a lot of entrepreneurs over the course of my involvement with Black Westchester. And I have to say, you're among the first that have mentioned investment in kind of proprietary technology, the cleaning solution in particular. And this may in fact give all, what I'd like to hear for audience members who are considering starting businesses of their own, and AJ and I was having this conversation earlier, like approximately, rough figure, how much money did you have, time and money, did you have to invest up front in order to launch what we now see as a viable business? A lot of times my impression is that my peers want to invest a minimal amount of time and effort. Time, effort, and money. I'm sorry, well, let me say money specifically, money to get their business off the ground. And I'm curious, based on your experience, what's that number look like for anyone who will be? Of course, you don't have to give us exact. I mean, you can round it off.
So, good question. So, the initial investment, I would say, initial investment was less than 80,000. Less than that, considering we had to pay chemists and everything, so less than that. That was the initial investment. But the advice someone gave me is whenever you think something, multiply it by 2, right? So it became, throughout the course of the first year, it became more. We actually had to dive back in and put more money in. Right, because 1, no one knew about us. 2, it's a concept no one's really aware of, and to have a staff, to have a location, pay rent, utilities, all the operational costs, right? If you don't have that background, it's going to hit you. The first year is going to hit you hard. So, not everyone is that fortunate to have like a cushion to be able to dive back in, unwillingly or not. If you wanted to succeed, you're going to have to dive back in. And it may not always succeed, right? I think my biggest thing as an entrepreneur is I love problem solving, right? I love at every aspect of it, right? Okay, we're not getting sales. What do we need to do? All right. No one knows about us. What do we need to do? And you have to invest in marketing. That for me, that was key to triggering some lenses, eyes on our business. So the marketing investment, something as simple as Google ads or Facebook ads, just to get some eyes on the business. So, but to answer your question, so my wife tells me I could be a little long-winded. It became more than we expected. So I would say anywhere between 100 to 150.
Interesting. How long time-wise did you have to invest? And I think Bob was getting to this. A lot of people have an idea today, want to open it tomorrow. They don't do the planning. They don't put the time in front of, time to get it off the ground. And then they wonder why it doesn't succeed. And he said most, businesses, small businesses, as well as movements, one of the things they lack is planning. So talk about just how long did you have to, before you actually got it off the ground?
So I think a big thing that people don't realize when you're dealing with a startup, it's equivalent to a newborn baby. And we had a lot of people that, came in and wanted to be part of the team and provide valuable advice and give us a lot of feedback. And we had meetings Monday nights and we still do, from 9:30, sometimes going into 12 o'clock, just troubleshooting, giving everybody updates on what's going on. The challenge with that, though, is when people came in and they felt the hype of Revival X, they wanted to be a part of it, but they didn't realize what a time commitment that was. So we had a lot of people coming in, but investing their time and not taking into consideration that life still happens around them, and yet you still have a newborn baby that you have to take care of. People started slowly falling off. So I think that was one of the challenges with having the startup and investing the time into it. So I think there was some lead time. I think part of what we did on the first 2 days, where we weren't making any money, one of the things we did, it was hot summer day. It was in July. We took a crate full of water and ice, walked over to the basketball courts, introduced ourselves, and handed out water saying, hey, we're here, shaking hands with everybody, letting them know that we are present. So that was before we started, making anything to take in. So people don't realize that there's a lot of things that come into that before things actually, jump off and really start working, and we really start seeing the fruits of our labor.
Yeah, and I would add to that, like from a lead standpoint, we opened July of 2019. We started working on the steps to open January 2019, right? Registering the business, coming up with the business plan, making sure we had the products in place. So what is that? About a 7-month lead time to make sure we were able to not necessarily troubleshoot, but had contingency plan just in case something come up. What if we don't have money? What if no one comes in? What if someone comes in and said, hey, you made my shoe worse? What do we have there? Like certain controls and certain controls in place. And I'm really big on mitigating risk, right? But to my wife's point, a business is, and some people don't get it, and I won't get into the specific situation. Like a business is a baby, right? You can't open a business and then walk away and think it's going to take care of itself. Just like you can't have a baby, walk away and think it's going to feed itself. Like you are feeding the business. You're giving it life every day, every second. And the minute you stop thinking about that, that's the minute competition takes over. That's the minute, things happen unexpectedly that I'm not attending to and take you under. And the reason I have this insight, and we can get into background later, is my father was a serial entrepreneur. So I would watch his successes and failures as a kid, and I would take certain mental notes. You know what? I'm not going to do that. I'm going to make sure I plan accordingly.
That's what's up. That's what's up. So before we go any further, where is the business? What is the address? Is there a website, social media, just so we can get people following you and everything?
Oh, that's a definite. So we're located in Mount Vernon, New York, right on the border of the Bronx. So the address is 33 South 4th Avenue. Again, Mount Vernon, New York. The Instagram is the THE_revival_X. The website is www.therevivalx.com. And we also have The Revival X on Facebook. We have a Twitter. My wife created a Pinterest. And, I just want to, before I forget, for folks who don't have that much to invest, because it's not a cheap amount we charge for clean, right? $32 to $65. Just for you, doctor, we have our own kit. right? So shameless plug, right? We have our own kit just for you, $19.99. Comes with the Revival X solution, brush, and towel. And we also give, I don't want to say 24/7 online support, but if you were to call the storefront, one of the guys would pick up and help you, go through the methodologies of cleaning whatever pair of sneakers you have.
That's what's up. That's what's up, Dr. Bob.
Yeah. Well, I mean, lucky for me, I'm going to have an opportunity to visit the location, meet you guys in person, because would be a necessary follow-up to today's show. So I'm looking forward. Maybe AJ and I will be able to stop by sometime this week, because we have actually talked about it in the past. And it just didn't work out. I've actually been hoping to stop by the shop. Now, so listen, if we were to say that in many respects, the Revival X cleaning solution is the formula that really has driven the growth of your baby, I want to know, what other things did you have to invest in order to get the business off the ground? You alluded to some of them, but for any of our viewers who are going to be looking to follow your footsteps in some way, model themselves after a successful husband and wife entrepreneurial team, what other expenses should they anticipate?
So I mentioned marketing, right? Google ads. I mentioned that earlier. That helped. Just hand-to-hand combat, flyers, right? Business cards. Being able to hand out. We used to be in front of the store, handing it out, person to person. Those are the brochures that go through the business model, and what the client can choose from. We also attend trade shows, right?
Okay.
The community is big. So furniture. Oh yes, furniture in the store. But the trade shows that come with a cost to attend. It comes setup costs. You have your sign, your banner, like we have here. That there's a cost there, right? The main goal is to attract eyes to the business. So whatever medium possible, social media, Google, e-commerce, in-person, trade shows. Those are the lanes we're trying to run on, right? Because I always knew we couldn't just have a storefront or a business model where, if you build it, they will come, right? In today's society, that doesn't work. Not anymore. You're battling on all fronts, right? So the traditional storefront for me wasn't going to be satisfactory. We had to figure out a way to get it out there to multiple people via multiple mediums. So those are all, whether it's monetary investment or time investments, they're still investments that you have to make if you want your business to succeed. And what else? Am I leaving anything else out?
Well, one that I'm going to add, because I just noticed it, was the commercial that you just played a few minutes ago for the Revival X product in particular. I know that probably, if I were to take a guess, at least a couple of $100 for that type of ad that you guys purchase, and it probably runs on your site and maybe on your social media pages, etc.
Yeah, sure. And going through services, right? There are a lot of services that people don't know that are at their disposal. Fiverr being one of them, right? You can go find someone in India, Indonesia, that can help you on your website, help you on your commercial. What's the other one that we utilize? Right? You don't have to necessarily take on the mentality where you have to do it yourself. There are other cheap solutions where you can outsource some of the work, right? To have a successful business model, right? My strength is not in presentation, right? That's not my strength. But if she doesn't have time because we have a daughter, we can outsource some of the things to at least have that professional view when we're trying to cater to customers. Right?
Okay.
One of the things I wanted to bring up, so one of the things I we always talked about, I don't know how long you lived in Mount Vernon or familiar with Mount Vernon back in the days. 4th Avenue, the Ave, was the spot. So my partner, Damon Jones, grew up in Greenburgh. So like for most of us in Mount Vernon, we would go like to Fordham Road or Delancey or Canal or wherever. For the rest of Westchester, 4th Ave was that for them. That's what it used to be.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We've gotten far, far away from that these days. And to play on your name, I'm hoping your business is a revival to capturing that again. You know what I'm saying? A place where people from all over the county are coming. They don't have to go to the city. You know what I'm saying? They come to Mount Vernon to get things done, and they get things they can't get in their cities. You know what I'm saying? So that's what excited me about y'all being on 4th Avenue, because we need more viable businesses on 4th Avenue, and y'all are definitely, this is a great business. So I definitely support y'all. And I will be doing everything that I can, including, the show. I'm going to edit just your part of the show, and I'm going to post it up on the website as a business spotlight. I'm going to put you in the October 15th paper as a business spotlight and make sure I drop a stack off at your store. You know what I'm saying? And just let as many people know, as possible, that you exist, because I'm big in, one, we need to recycle our dollars. We need to support each other. I try to get people to support me. You know what I'm saying? I'm a Black-owned business. You know what I'm saying? So being that I have this forum, is up to me to expose people to people like yourselves, and that's why I was so excited when I heard about what y'all are doing.
No,
appreciate that. Yeah, thank you.
100% appreciate it.
No doubt.
Whatever we can do, just let us know, right? On top of it, from a community standpoint, because I don't think the positive within the community are highlighted as much as the negative. Matter of fact, I barely hear any positive about Mount Vernon, and there are positive things going on here, right? And I've been living in Mount Vernon since 2004. So, yeah, born in the Bronx, but I've been here in Mount V since 2004. But while we were in the Bronx, we always heard about Mount Vernon. Money Earning Vernon, Heavy D, Puffy, and all those guys coming out here.
Like there's bread out here. This is a perfect place.
Yeah. Denzel Washington's background in Mount Vernon. So, a lot of prestigious, especially celebrities have come from this area. So it was always, in my eyes, one of the areas I wanted to be grounded in eventually, being raised in the South Bronx.
Now, one of the things, like Bob alluded to, some of the other things you do. One of the things in talking to your wife that piqued my interest is beyond doing this sneaker restoration thing, which is definitely, like I said, filling a void and much needed. Y'all are teaching financial literacy to your employees and others. I would like to hear about that, because most people, when they do business, they try to get people work as cheap as possible without no benefits. And you know what I'm saying? The idea that you want to teach your employees financial literacy to how to spend money and teach them the importance of that, that's missing in business today, Black, white, or whatever. I don't hear stories like that. So please share that.
So the way I approach things, I look at it from all angles. As a business owner, when I first started my first job, I would have liked someone senior to help me out financially, to show me the ropes. And as a business owner, I look at it from their perspectives, each and every employee, and I want to give them that guidance, that help, especially, out here in Mount Vernon, right? When I was young, I didn't know any better. I got $1 in my pocket. Okay, I'll spend the dollar the next day, right? Because the dollar was burned in my pocket. And in the beginning, it was not my intent, so I won't say that it was. But when I saw in the beginning, one of our guys would get a check, and the next day he would buy either sneakers or he would go across the street to the electronics store and buy a big stereo, right? And every week I would see him make big purchases. So I sat him down like, hey, what's going on here? What are you doing? And it's like, oh yeah, I have money. I'm gonna do X. Like, no, that's not how it's supposed to work, right? You want to save your money, right? You want to have a rainy day fund. You want to have the ability, if you do need something later down the line, to have the financial capital to be able to purchase it, or through your hard work. You don't just want to be a spendthrift and spend it all at once. And he was shocked. No one's ever like really spoken to him like that. So sat him down and really showed him a budget, right? You know, not to say you don't spend what you earn. Yeah, spend it, but don't spend everything. You know, maybe take about 20, 30%. You know, you have your fixed cost, lunch, whatever, but then you can treat yourself, buy yourself a jacket, but just don't splurge. And it was amazing seeing how they gravitated, and it wasn't just him, but all the employees, they gravitated to the knowledge or just the financial literacy aspect of it, because you can see the wheels going in their head, and coming from someone, I guess, a business owner or an adult who's actually investing time to help them. Like I'm not doing it for any other reason but to help. They really took it to heart and executed on it to a point. I was telling my wife a month ago, I was driving one of the workers back home, and he was like, "Hey, honey, you want to see something?" I'm like, okay, look at my savings. All right, so he's 17 years old. All right, 17, 18, maybe 18, 17, has roughly 3,000 in his account. Now, I don't know about you. When I was 17, I didn't have anywhere close to that in my account saved up over time, right? Most of my things were jacket here, clothes there, and other nonsense. But just to see that, and to see how proud he was, that was the biggest success, to see his pride and the fact that he saved so much. That just brought, a lot of joy to my heart. That's the biggest win, right? Forget the business side of it. It's the success metric from a personnel, people standpoint, and to hear other employees mimic and echo the same thing, because I don't just say it, the store manager echoes it to them as well, right? We don't just want to be here and have that, hey, employee, hey, owner relationship. Okay, bye, see you the next day, and that's it. We're finished. We try to really sow some things here, so it helps them out there, right, in the bigger world, or if they go to another company, or when they graduate college and in corporate America, or whatever they do in life. Hopefully we can start the foundation here with us, because in some cases this is their first, second, third job, and they're still early. We have a lot of young adults here between 18 and 25, 29. So you can get to them early enough, it'll help them out in life.
One of the most important, most powerful things is that's a contagious thing at best. Hopefully he will start talking to his circle around him and start telling some of the young men around him, and building up a team now. As a team, they collectively, and they may be able to have an idea now. They got some money and ideas of how to maybe invest in this, following your footsteps. So that's very important. And another thing you said, and this is for, sorry, but this is for all the haters. Yes, we hold people's feet to the fire. Yes, we definitely do news and put out some of the things that are really not the most positive things about Mount Vernon, but we often do business showcases and talk about a lot of the good stuff. So a lot of the people that say, oh, y'all only talk about the negative stuff, if you ask them about any of the stories that were positive, they'll tell you, oh, no, I don't really check out the site, or I don't really read the paper. But they like to say that, so they miss stuff like this. We constantly do stuff like this. And I just wanted to, put my, to all of them, like that. Like, this is what we do. This is what we build on. I mean, we've been here 7 years. Unfortunately, there is a lot of mess in Mount Vernon, and to clean it up, you can't put your head in the sand. You do have to address it. Yeah, and some of it wasn't being addressed. But, I get a joy out of doing stuff like this. Hopefully more people from this, someone will see this, and we put on the website, see the paper, and they'll tell somebody else and tell somebody else. And you know what I'm saying? It'll help your business, and hopefully help other people come up with some ideas of things they can do. Because, one of the things that this pandemic had a lot of those people that are creative people spent a lot of time in the house thinking of the things they could do or doing those things that they wanted to do that they never had time enough to do. So I believe we're going to see a lot more entrepreneurship, and that's what, and that and anytime the economy is low, it's those small businesses and entrepreneurial things that help pick up the. It's not the big corporations; it's the new businesses and the entrepreneurs and we definitely need to pick up the economy in Mount Vernon, definitely, and attract more businesses.
It's about that revival.
Right, that's what I said. I hope that your store playing on your name is a revival to the avenue and help in the revival of Mount Vernon as a whole. So I'm very happy. Is there anything I didn't ask you to know about you, about the business, about any other services that you provide? Anything?
So we do have the nonprofit that we started October 2019 called Soul Revive. Thanks to the generous donation of sneakers by the French American School, we were able to obtain about 600 sneakers to be certified and cleaned by Revival X for distribution to the shelters in the area. Unfortunately, COVID slowed that down. A lot of people didn't want to take sneakers. They only wanted, cans of food, things of that nature. But that's really one of the ideas that we were constantly discussing every time we had a meeting. How are we going to give back? What are we going to do? And Soul Revive was born out of that. And the French American School was kind enough to actually let us go into the school and teach the children, one, how to clean, but also the importance of why it was, needed for them to donate, their gently used sneakers. And it was just a lot of pleasure out of seeing their faces and learning why it was important to actually give back to the community. So the faculty, the students, the parents all came in droves, and we were able to collect over 600 sneakers as a result of that. So that's definitely one of the big pluses, that has come out of Revival X. So it's not always about the money. It's definitely about, as you say, reviving the community and giving back.
So that being said, for all my sneakerheads out there who have closets full of sneakers that they're not wearing and sneakers all up under their bed that they're not wearing, even if they don't want to restore them for themselves, they can come by the store possibly and drop them off so y'all can repair them and then maybe donate them to, like shelters and people less fortunate that.
Absolutely. Absolutely. We would definitely love for anyone to just come and drop them off. We will certify them as Revival X Clean. They will get the same respect as any person dropping off a sneaker that, they're paying to get cleaned. The sneakers will go through the same process. And, we just want to make sure that we maintain the dignity of the nonprofit. So absolutely, we'd love to have someone or anyone drop off as many as they like.
Absolutely. So we want to make sure we help in making that happen and driving traffic, not just to get sneakers repaired, but people donating sneakers. And as I'm thinking, I actually might have some. I have a bag full of shoes when I moved, and they're still in a big trash bag, a big bag. I haven't even gone through them. I'm sure there's something in there that I can donate that I'm not wearing anymore that might be able to be, benefit someone else. Shout out to Ken Bright, Pat English, Regendra Hunter in Atlanta, Cliff Earl Abrams in Greenberg, Cynthia Turnquest Jones, Stephanie Benton, Joanne Campadani, Joseph Greer, I think he's in Atlanta, Patrina Johnson, I said Paul Anthony Cuesta earlier, Luis Cherico, and everybody else that's tuned in. For anybody who's just tuned in right now, we have the owners of a new company called Revival X. They do sneaker restoration. They are located on 4th Avenue across the street from VIM. Is that it? VIM?
Yes, sir. Yep.
Right. So if you don't know, everybody know what VIM is. If they don't know where you are, they are directly across the street, so y'all can find them. And I want to say to all the people that watching this live and will watch this later, that follow Black Westchester, that are sneakerheads, you need to go by here and support this new business. we always say we don't have enough Black-owned businesses, but when we get them, we don't support them. And if we want to be able to keep them and empower them to do some of the things that they're doing, as you heard, we need to support them. So, y'all need to all come down, tell them Black Westchester sent you, and y'all all need to come down. And we need to, do a push and really, I want to see y'all thriving like y'all have too much business and y'all got to get more employees or something, or open another store, or enlarge a store or something. I'm serious. Like I want to see.
Let's go. Your lips to God's ears, right? That's the game plan.
Shout to Nicole Benjamin and Yonkers just tuned in. And I know you were saying business is taking off. Like businesses, the response that now that people are starting to hear about it, you're getting a lot more business. Did y'all talk about maybe a second location somewhere else or something like that y'all were thinking about?
Yeah. So I don't want to take it, even though we're on Google and other mediums, good amount of our business are through referrals. Right. Someone comes in, we bring their sneakers back to life. They're our salesmen. They're telling their family, their friends. So that's how it's just been magnified from that. So I don't want to take it away from our current customers. But yeah, business has been much stronger than we anticipated. And we did a show recently for the Harlem Fashion Row.
During Fashion Week, we're invited by Harlem Fashion Row to do sneaker cleaning there. So
one of the interesting things that I heard when I finally got down there with the rest of the team, a lot of the response was, "Man, this is awesome. Where are you guys located? In Mount Vernon? Or I'm not going up there." As if we're like 2 hours away from Harlem or something. So just the fact that it's in Westchester. So talking to my wife, we started brainstorming. Maybe either having drop-off spots or other spots in Harlem and in Brooklyn, throughout the 5 boroughs. Right, that's going to be a whole logistical issue if it's just a drop-off spot. So we're still in the preliminary stages of figuring out. But once we do, we want to have it thought through, just like we started the store, fully thought through, understand the problems we may encounter, and what the success metrics will be before we open up the doors in another location.
And with that expansion, we've also partnered with some of the dry cleaning stores in the area. So if anyone feels that coming to 4th Avenue, I know sometimes parking can be a challenge, they can go to Fleetwood or they can go to Eastchester. We have a location in the Bronx where we've partnered with, dry cleaning places that they will take it in and we'll do pickups and we will drop it off and they can pick it up right back, where they dropped it off from. So we're trying to manage the growth as best as we can. But I think it's great that we're able to use the resources around us to do that.
That's a beautiful thing. Have you got reception from the city of Mount Vernon as far as the city hall or the Chamber of Commerce or anything like that? Have you gotten? Because I haven't heard no one before y'all contacted me. I literally I didn't know y'all were there for like 2 years. Like Bob will tell you, we drive by there all the time. Like I had to have passed you either in a car or walking like hundreds of times and did not know you were there.
So some people from City Hall have come into the store, and once they come in, their jaw drops because they didn't realize. I don't think we're a hole in the wall, but I guess it must. Hearing comments like that, and not a lot of people are cognizant of our existence. So we need to change that. But just to be forthcoming, I have not really engaged any Chamber of Commerce and taken that avenue to spread the word. So I won't say, hey, they've just neglected us. No, it's been me. Aside from getting permission to put our building sign or signage for the building outside, I really haven't engaged them from that perspective. So
and the reason I ask, for anybody that you've had problems getting in touch with, please speak to me offline and allow me to be the bridge, maybe if necessary, to get you in touch with, whether it's the mayor, whether it's the congressman who supports Black business, the new young Black Congressman Jamal Bowman, whether, whoever it is, somebody in the county level, if there's somebody that you can't reach or you have, if I can't personally, I can probably find somebody who can make the introduction to you or whatever. So
that's a definite.
Please hit me offline and allow me to do that. I'm going to ask you last questions. I'm bringing in my next guest because he's also a Mount Vernon resident, and I want him to see y'all before y'all go. This is Jesse Van Loo from the organization Save Mount Vernon. Jesse, this is the owners of Revival X. It's like a sneaker restoration spot, new store, and they got their own personalized solution to clean all kinds of sneakers. They bring sneakers back to life, and they're on 4th Avenue across from VIM. So I wanted to make sure, even with that y'all know that they exist and face and the whole nine.
I'll make sure. Yes, nice meeting you. I'll make sure that I come by, introduce myself, and see where I get in.
Jesse got some classic kicks too. So
yes.
He old school. I'm trying to tell y'all. I seen him on with a couple of pairs.
Yes.
So is there anything again that I didn't ask y'all that you want people to know before y'all go? Please give your social media, your website, most importantly, the address, and anything else y'all want to share in closing.
Yeah, I mean, we're a friendly bunch. So if you just want to come by and say hello and check out the place and see if you like what you see and then come back and bring your sneakers, we're perfectly open to that. But just come and check out the Revival X effect and see how you like it.
That's a definite, right? We believe in treating every customer with respect. So you had, you mentioned a situation in Yonkers, right, where they were, just treating him in a way that wasn't satisfactory, right? If one of my employees would have treated someone that way, they wouldn't be an employee, right? Regardless of color or anything, right? I believe in treating others as you want to be treated. So we treat everyone who comes in like family, right? If someone's upset that their sneaker isn't ideal, we'll take it back in and get it to the optimal situation that it can for their sneaker drop off. So we do treat our place like family, and you'll feel the vibe once you walk in, from the store manager to each associate. Right, I really believe in having a good atmosphere, which creates even better productivity for our team. And we get every now and then, one maybe every 6 months a negative person, and if we can't change that, right, I'll try to cut those ties. All right, you can do business somewhere else. You don't have to necessarily come through with us. But for the most part, we received a lot of love from Mount Vernon and outside of Mount Vernon for people who come through. So definitely check out the website, therevivalx.com, or the Instagram, _revival_x. Let us know what you think. We're always looking to improve, and we welcome any and all business.
And give everybody the exact address one more time, sir.
The address, we're located at 33 South 4th Avenue, Mount Vernon, New York, right across the street from VIM.
No doubt, no doubt. I thank y'all for taking the time
Thank you.
to come on and allow me to spotlight you. And everyone else, look for their interview, the video interview on blackwestchester.com in the next couple of days, with all their links to all, the website and everything under that, and a spotlight on them in the October 15th issue, which comes out October 15th-ish. It might be a day or two afterwards, but around October 15th. I wish you all the best of luck, and Bob and I will be by one day this week, possibly, hopefully, right?
Yeah. Just let us know the word. We'll set out the red carpet for you.
Oh, no doubt, no doubt, no doubt. And I'll go through and see if I have any sneakers that I can donate to. So,
that'd be great. Awesome. Thank you. We really appreciate your time, and thank you for all the amazing work that you've been doing.
Thank you. Greatly appreciate it.
One business advice quickly is have a good queen by your side, right? That's what really makes it happen.
Absolutely.
We're gonna have to talk about that conversation another time. We might need to do some networking and stuff.
Well, even if you don't have a queen by your side, the success of Black Westchester wouldn't have been possible with a lot of sisters who believe in Black Westchester, that put in work for Black Westchester, whether it was distribution, whether it was making phone calls, whether it was calling up for quotes, like some of our biggest supporters have been women, and you you need the perspective. Like, it was just me and Damon, it's two dudes. You know what I'm saying? You know, when we first started the show, Cynthia Turnquest Jones on the show. She was a big asset, brought things that we wasn't even thinking about. And still, even though she's not on the show, she still does that on the newspaper. She'll be like, I got an article. You know, she's an educator. She puts out book lists for the kids to read, you know, in the summertime, and things I'm not even thinking about that have been very successful. So you need some, you know, if you're a brother in business, you need some sisters in your life
That's 100%.
Whether it's your wife, whether it's a family member, whether it's just some strong sisters that believe in you, you need some sisters in your life. That's that I will say. Word up.
Definitely.
I bid y'all adieu, but we will see y'all later this week. We'll talk offline and about some of that other stuff. And it's been a great talking to y'all.
You too. Thank you. Take care.
Nice meeting you.
Okay, have a great day.
Have a good one.
Good night.
You're welcome.
No doubt.